Hi, let's talk about the inverse trigonometry ratios. When we have to use the inverse trigonometry ratios, when we have to find the missing angles in the right triangle, provided that the two sides of that right triangle are given. But what exactly the inverse is? Let's understand it. We know SOHCAHTOA, right? SOHCAHTOA. And we know what is a sine. Let's take sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. But sine represents a degree, and opposite and hypotenuse, what they represent? They represent the side lengths, right? Let's take if in a triangle, if it is a right triangle, I don't know what this angle is, but the side lengths, let's say x and y, they are given to you. Because no hypotenuse is given, I can write my trig ratio as tangent theta is x over y. But there I want to know what is the angle. How am I supposed to know when only the sides are given? When we have to find the angle, we use the concept of inverse. How to write inverse? We say let's take inverse both sides. We have to take inverse both sides. So theta will become nothing but tangent inverse of x over y. Keep one thing in mind, this -1 right above any of the ratio, whether it's sine, cosine or tangent, it is not -1 as such. It is read as inverse. We call it as inverse. In some of the books or online, you might see instead of using, for example, tangent inverse, they might use arc tangent. That means the same. That means they are talking about the angle, or they are trying to find out the missing angle. It can be in this format. They might say a sine inverse. That is also same as arc sine. So this little teeny tiny symbol, it is not an exponent as such. There is a difference between, if I say sine inverse is not equal to 1 over sine. The property that you have learned in the exponent, that if the exponent is negative, I can rewrite that equation as 1 over a to the power of 2, right? We are not talking about this scenario. Let's understand this with using some examples. Okay, so we have 3 questions right here, and you can see the question mark is given in each and every question. That means we need to find that angle. I will solve 2 questions for you, and this one is for you to try. Okay, let's start question number 1. In question number 1, if you analyze it, just opposite to 90 degrees, always hypotenuse. Okay, this angle is missing. If this angle is missing, and if you put your hand right here, this angle will touch two sides. One is always hypotenuse and the another is adjacent. Okay, so we have adjacent, we have hypotenuse. So what do you think, which ratio we can use? We can use cos. Cos, let's instead of question mark, let's say it is theta. Cos theta is what? Adjacent over hypotenuse. What is adjacent in this case? Adjacent is 38 over 47. But I'm not looking for the ratio only, I'm looking for the angle. To find the angle, we will say take inverse, right? If you just write take inverse, that would be okay. So take inverse, and then I will say theta is nothing but cos inverse, and then comes the ratio part. Now to find out what is the given angle, let's plug it in the calculator. You can see on the left hand side of my screen there is a calculator. So to plug in the calculator, if your calculator has a symbol of second, then you can press that second first and then cos inverse, cos, and it will give you the symbol of cos inverse. But I have a shift here, so I will press shift followed by cos, and you can see they have written a cos. A cos means arc cosine. Arc cosine, that means we are talking about the cos inverse. So 38, oh, let's 38 divided by 47, and then I will just press OK, and you can see right here the number is 36. So I will say theta is approximately 36 degrees. Again, arc cos is same as cos inverse. That means not only with cos, if arc and inverse, they are the same thing, right? Okay, let's try one more. Okay, let's use another color pen. Okay, so question number 2, the same thing. Instead of question mark, I will take it as theta. Just opposite to 90 degree is always hypotenuse. Okay. Hypotenuse is not given. So the only thing we can use here is tangent ratio. So tangent theta, which is opposite over hypotenuse. But what is the opposite? Theta. Theta opposite to theta is this one. And opposite over adjacent, my mistake. So if you touch the angle right here, or if you put your hand on the angle right here, it will touch two sides. One is always hypotenuse and the another is adjacent. Okay, so we have the ratio here. Opposite is 65 and adjacent is 42. But what we have to find out? We have to find out what is the angle. So we will say take inverse. And when we take inverse, we will write theta. We can say tangent inverse with a -1 right at the top, which is nothing but arc tangent. And inside the bracket, 65 over 42. And then let's go and calculate on the calculator. Okay, again, shift and 10. A10 is there, that means arc tangent. And then 65 divided by 42. Then what you have to do, just press OK. Okay. So it is approximately 57 degrees. And please don't forget to box the answers. I solved 2 questions for you. Try this question for yourself. Okay, let's talk about some word problems. Don't worry, they are easy to handle. Okay, let's take this one, number 1. And let's change color this time. Okay, number 1. A 25-foot tall flagpole casts a 42-foot shadow. So this is the shadow that is given to you, 42 feet, and this is the height. What is the angle that the sun hits the flagpole? So I want to know what is the angle. Right there. First thing first, what is hypotenuse? Just across 90 degrees. So this is hypotenuse. And I know hypotenuse is not given there. So the only thing that is left is tangent. I have to find tangent. 42, not 42, tangent, only tangent. Tangent x degrees. But I need to understand what is the opposite and what is adjacent. So if I put my hand on the x degrees, the side which I am not able to touch, that is called the opposite side. And my hand will touch two sides. One is hypotenuse and the another is adjacent. We have the trig ratio now. So opposite over adjacent. And what is opposite? Opposite is 42 degrees. Adjacent is 25 degrees. Right there. Now we have to take inverse. Let's take inverse both sides. Get x degrees is nothing but tangent inverse of the ratio 42 over 25. Now let's move on the left hand side and use calculator. Shift tangent and then plug the value 42 divided by 25. Press. Okay, what is the answer? 59.2. So I would say x degrees is nothing but is approximately 59.2 degrees. That is what we are looking for.